Good evening. This is CTV News for Wednesday, August 15th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Byron Scott. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, the University of Maryland football team is back on the field getting ready for the upcoming season with a new head coach.
This amid the controversy surrounding the death of one of its players. Chris Mark now joining us with more details on the latest.
Yeah, that's right. You know, lost in all this is there are players who are on the field and they've had their head coach put on administrative leave. They don't know what's going on, so now they're rallying around their interim head coach, and he spoke today for the first time. So let's go out and hear what he has to say. Yesterday, we heard from Maryland President Wallace Lowe and Athletic Director Damon Evans as the university took responsibility for the death of Jordan McNair. Lost in all the controversy with the program is that the players on the team are still preparing for the upcoming season without head coach DJ Durkin, who is on administrative leave. Today, for the first time, interim head coach Matt Canada spoke to the media about how the team is dealing with the distractions but pressing forward.
Obviously, we've had a lot going on here. I'm here to talk about our players, and I want to emphasize what a great job they've done, how proud we are of them. They've been through a lot, and they're working extremely hard. They are unbelievable kids, and I think that is something that no matter what else comes out of this conversation, I want that to be echoed, that our players are special, and they're doing a great job sticking together, and they're excited to play football on September 1st, and we as a staff are really excited to get to watch them do that. Our entire staff has done a tremendous job of coming together, of bonding together, of making it about our players. And, you know, it's amazing what you can accomplish when nobody cares who gets the credit. And we're seeing that right now in our building. We'll have 2 breaks. We've got 2 tents. You guys are going to be able to see practice. We've got 2 tents set up, 2 cooling tents. We have water, Gatorade, snacks in the breaks, all those things. You know, I think our practices have been extremely crisp. The focus of our players' health and safety is number one, and our players are feeling that and understanding that, and that's our primary focus.
Canada was asked if he had spoken to head coach DJ Durkin. He said he had, but left it at that. The Terps open up the season September 1st against Texas at FedEx Field.
Now, I'm sure these guys are really focused, but you have to imagine it's going to have an impact on their playing coming up through the season. Well,
yes, it does. You know what? A coach is gone. One of their teammates has died tragically. That's a lot for you know, a young adult to take, and now they're also preparing for the upcoming football season. So there's a lot going on with those players right now. So for them to hold it together, that would be great. But you know, no one could blame them if they're going to struggle a little bit this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris, for that.
And state police are kicking off a new initiative aimed at drunk drivers. It's called Bay to Beach. Patrols will be increased along the Route 50 corridor. Keisha Butts has our story.
After having a couple drinks with friends, how many people have decided to get behind the wheel thinking that they were safe to drive home? You might want to think twice about doing this, though, as more than 500 people have died to drunk driving in Maryland over the past 5 years. Law enforcement spoke at a press event about the dangers of drunk driving.
Drivers who get behind the wheel drunk or drugged make a choice that can injure or kill anyone on our roadways, including themselves. The people who are killed, they're our families, friends, co-workers, and their losses devastate communities.
First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my brother, and then I'm going to tell you how he died.
This is Jason Shand. His brother passed away from drunk driving on a back road in Texas.
Picked up the phone, and all my mom said was, "Brian's dead." She was choking back on her tears, and I was just kind of confused. Just waking up, didn't know what was happening, and she just repeated, "Brian's dead, and you need to come home." Went a little bit too far to the right, ran off the road, blew a tire, came across the other side of the road, flipped about 5 or 6 times, wasn't wearing a seatbelt, hit a tree, died on impact.
There will be checkpoints this Friday through Labor Day on the Eastern Shore and eventually throughout Maryland. Law enforcement says to always have a plan after a night out of drinking. For CTV News in Stevensville, I'm Keisha Butts.
And police say if you have been drinking, use rideshare, a taxi, or public transit. Well, her name is Stephanie Ringgold, and she lives in Baltimore City. Over the weekend, Ringgold was stopped by police and arrested for driving while drunk. Investigators say she had 2 children and another adult in the car at the time. Police processed Ringgold and released her to a sober driver. Then, 20 minutes later, police make another DUI arrest, and you guessed it, it was Stephanie Ringgold once again, who was again charged with driving under the influence. She was processed and released again to a sober driver who apparently did the driving this time.
Work zone cameras continue to rake in the big bucks as motorists continue to blow by mobile speed cameras near Suitland Road Bridge. According to AAA Mid-Atlantic, during the first part of this year of operation, which ended last month, 125,000 drivers were ticketed for exceeding the posted speed limit in the Suitland Bridge areas. Collectively, there are 15 active work zone speed cameras locations in Maryland. And that translated into nearly $5 million in fines. Still, with those high numbers, AAA says work zone revenues have plunged 45% in recent years. An alert tonight from the Prince George's Office of the Sheriff. Investigators say unsavory scammers are calling residents asking for cash to close open warrants or to resolve other court-related matters. The good news is savvy residents are reporting the calls to the Sheriff's Department.
Over the last week, we've had at least 20 citizen calls about scam callers calling people, telling them that they have open warrants or something else in court process, and that if they give them their personal information and give them financial information to pay them money, that they can make it go away. Well, that's simply not true, and we're glad that none of the citizens who called actually paid anyone any money, but it is a scam. We want to alert the public. Anyone who calls a citizen, a resident who says they're from the office of the sheriff and they want you to send them money, hang up on them, and then please call us and let us know that that's happening.